Come on in, welcome to my home. Today I'm going to talk about my to-do list. Now, if you've seen any of my videos about bullet journaling, which I can link up here in the cards and also be linked down below in the descriptions, you will know that I do use a system of digital bullet journaling. And you're saying to yourself, well, what does that really have to do with your to-do list? Well, simple. I don't use a to-do list. What I do instead is I do something which can make it less overwhelming. Because a lot of times we look at our to-do list and there are things which repeat, and there are things which are on our to-do list which is like clean the garage, which needs to be done in the spring, but I put it on my to-do list in the winter. Well, okay, that's great, but that means it stays on that to-do list for like weeks. And that to-do list can get longer and longer and longer. So finally you're at the point where your to-do list looks crazy. And then when you start looking at your to-do list, it's like overwhelming. And a lot of people then just get overwhelmed by their to-do list and say to themselves, I'm not going to do anything because what's the point? I'll never get it done. Alright, so what do I do instead of using a to-do list? I use a calendar. Yeah, it's that simple. What I'll do is if I have a task that needs to be done, I'll schedule it. I'll schedule it for when I want to do it. It can be on any day of the week, any time, and I'll probably do it depending upon the task as an all-day event. Because that way, when I'm looking at or trying to schedule anything in my life, I can look at my calendar and say, well, hey, I'd actually planned on cleaning out the garage this day, so I know not to schedule things for that day versus the whole, it's on my to-do list to get done, but, there are other things I really should do, so I will just push it back. Okay, so that works really easy, but what else can we do with this? Well, simple. If something weird comes up, say freak snowstorm. Yeah, if a freak snowstorm comes up and it throws off your to-do list or throws off your calendar schedule, you know what you can do? Move the date. Yeah, that's why I love using my digital calendar. That's why I love using my calendar, because if something happens, I just change the date of the item that I want to do. It is that simple. And it gives me that flexibility so that if I don't get it done, I can do it, at a later date, but I will schedule it. Or it also gives me the flexibility if I'm done with everything and I want to go ahead and do something else, I can look on my calendar and see what other things that I have to do, and I can go ahead and do that thing and get it done right then and there. So I can free up days on my calendar. If I decide I want to go on vacation for a week or so, oh, go on vacation. Yeah, that could happen. If I decide I want to go on vacation for a week or so, I could then look at the week that I want to go on vacation and get everything that I need to get done for that week done. It's off my calendar, and then I can put in on my calendar vacation, so I know not to schedule anything in on that week. So my to-do list doesn't then get in the way of all of those things, because I have seen so many people talk about, well, I have what was they call it? A honey-do list, where, somebody will schedule something else for me to do, and then it just keeps piling up and up and up, and it never gets done. Well, no, if I schedule it on my calendar, I'm going to get it done usually the day it's scheduled, like 99.9% of the time. I will get it done the day that it's scheduled, and it's out of the way. And I also know not to overwhelm myself with too much stuff to do. Because like I said before, being overwhelmed can actually stop you from doing anything. This way you can say, I'm going to clean the garage, and I also know not to schedule like anything else for that day. But if I do get done early, I can go ahead and do the next day's items. That's how I take care of my to-do list. I don't use a to-do list, I use a calendar. What about you? How do you take care of your to-do list? Do you have a to-do list? Let me know down in the comments, and I hope I get to see you the next time you stop by.